There are moments in life when everything looks completely normal on the outside. People moving, conversations flowing, the world continuing as if nothing has changed. But inside, something begins to shift, not loudly, not suddenly at all, but slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. He didn't notice it at first, because nothing dramatic happened. No big moment, no clear beginning, just a glance, a moment that lasted slightly longer than it should have. And then silence, the kind of silence that carries meaning without saying anything at all. He didn't plan for it. He didn't go looking for it. But somewhere between that glance and that silence, something began. Something he wasn't supposed to feel. She was already with someone. And he knew that. Not later. Not after getting closer. From the very beginning, he understood. There was a line. Clear, defined, unmistakable. And yet, something inside him kept moving toward it. And maybe that's what made it heavier. Because this wasn't confusion. This wasn't ignorance. This was awareness in conflict with emotion. And emotion doesn't always listen. Still, his attention kept returning to her. Not intentionally. At least, that's what he told himself. But his eyes found her. In crowded rooms. In passing moments. In situations where she should have been just another face. But she wasn't. And that difference started to grow. A simple laugh, something ordinary to everyone else, felt different to him. A casual conversation, a normal interaction stayed with him long after it ended. He tried to ignore it, tried to push it away, told himself it was nothing, just a phase, just something temporary, something that would fade if he gave it enough time. But time doesn't always erase things. Sometimes it gives them space to grow. Late at night, when everything slowed down, when distractions disappeared, when silence filled every corner of the room, that small feeling became impossible to ignore. It didn't fade. It deepened. He started noticing things he had never noticed before. The way she spoke, the way she reacted, the way she existed so naturally in a life that wasn't his. And slowly, that awareness turned into attachment. Quiet, invisible, but real. He didn't act on it, didn't cross any boundaries, didn't say anything he shouldn't, but he stayed close enough to feel everything. He became a silent observer, present, but never involved, aware, but never acknowledged. And every time he saw her smile with someone else, something inside him shifted. Not anger, not jealousy, not even frustration. Just a quiet ache, the kind that doesn't demand attention, the kind that doesn't disappear, the kind that stays and slowly becomes part of you. He found himself in places he didn't belong, moments that weren't meant for him, standing there, pretending to be just another person, while inside, everything felt louder, more intense, more complicated. And then came the question, the one that changes everything. Do you follow your feelings even when they lead somewhere wrong? Or do you walk away even when it feels like losing something important? Because sometimes the hardest thing isn't letting go of a person. It's letting go of a future that never truly existed, but felt real enough to matter. And he stood there right in the middle of that decision, not moving forward, not stepping back, just waiting, not realizing yet that whatever he chose would stay with him for years. There comes a moment when a feeling stops being innocent, not because something happened, but because something almost did. Because intention begins to form, possibility begins to feel real. He felt it in the smallest moments, the hesitation before typing a message, the pause before saying something more, the seconds where everything slows down and a decision quietly waits. Should I? And somewhere deep inside a voice answers, you shouldn't. That's where everything changes. Not in action, but in choice. He started noticing more, too much. Details that didn't matter before now stayed in his mind. Moments that should have passed lingered longer than they should have. His mind began creating scenarios, different versions of reality. Situations where timing was different, where circumstances were different, where she was his. But reality never changed. She was still with someone else. And he was still on the outside. There were moments that felt dangerously close. A glance that lasted longer. A silence that felt heavier. A space where something could have happened, but nothing ever did. Because deep down, he understood something important. Some things are not meant to be taken, so he stayed quiet. Not because he didn't feel enough, but because he felt too much. And that silence began to shape him. Turning feelings into weight. Turning thoughts into patterns. Turning moments into memories that never truly happened. And slowly, a question began to grow inside him. If you never act, do you protect yourself? Or do you lose something you'll never experience again? Time kept moving. It always does. Life didn't stop. People continued, meeting, laughing, building something together. And he was there. Close enough to witness it all, but never part of it. There's a different kind of pain in watching something beautiful that you know will never belong to you. Not because you can't take it, but because you shouldn't. And that difference makes everything heavier. Because feelings don't ask for permission. They don't wait for the right time. They don't care about consequences. They just grow. Quietly. Slowly. Until they become impossible to ignore. And then comes the most dangerous part. Not action, but justification. It's harmless. It's just a thought. It doesn't mean anything. But the truth is, the biggest mistakes don't start with actions. They start with the stories we tell ourselves. He imagined it. What it would feel like to finally say it. To stop holding everything in. To be honest, just once. But every time, something pulled him back. A reminder. A distance. A reality he couldn't escape. This isn't yours. And still, he stayed. And discipline. Between emotion, principle. Because now, it wasn't just a feeling anymore. It was a choice. And that choice was changing him. Silence didn't make it easier. It made it heavier, quieter, but deeper. It stopped being about moments and became a cycle. Thinking, avoiding, remembering again and again. And somewhere in that cycle, he started losing something. Not her, himself. Because what you hold inside doesn't disappear. It settles. In your thoughts, in your identity, in the way you see the world. He began questioning everything. Was this strength or was it fear? Was he doing the right thing or just avoiding the consequences of doing the wrong one? Because walking away isn't always peaceful. Sometimes it's a quiet war, fought entirely inside your own mind. He replayed moments, created new ones, lived entire versions of reality that never existed. And in those versions, he was happy. But reality never changed. And slowly, a realization formed. Maybe the pain isn't losing her. Maybe the pain is never knowing what could have been. But even that started to fade. Not suddenly at all. Not dramatically. Just slowly. The feeling stopped growing. Not gone. Just quieter. Like an echo of something that used to be louder. And for the first time, he stopped fighting it. Stopped chasing it. He simply allowed it to exist. Because not every feeling needs to be solved. Some just need to be understood. Time passed, and something shifted. He wasn't searching anymore. Not in crowds. Not in moments. Not in people. And that absence didn't hurt. It felt light. Not empty. Just free. He began to understand. That some connections are never meant to fully exist. Some feelings are meant to pass through you, not stay with you. And maybe that was the lesson all along. Not how to hold on, but how to let go without losing yourself. In the end, nothing dramatic happened. No confession, no chaos, no broken endings. Just understanding. He didn't get the love he imagined, but he gained something deeper. Control, clarity, self-respect. He learned that not every feeling deserves to be followed. And sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is nothing. No more what ifs. No more imagined endings. Just reality, accepted as it is. And for the first time, that was enough. Because in the story of two people, one who acts, and one who walks away, the world notices the one who tries. But real strength sometimes belongs to the one who didn't, the one who felt everything and still chose restraint. And maybe he didn't get the love he wanted, but he found something greater, something deeper, something lasting. Peace.